Ferguson caught from behind. The referee waves play on. First time passing, McGinn just ahead of the centre circle to McTominay on the left. Now McTominay to Kieran Tierney, and Scotland just slow themselves down. Robertson on the halfway line. Robertson and goes to the switch of play. Lovely ball from Robertson to find Patterson inside here, where Patterson combining with Christie. It breaks down though, and now El Khanous has it. El Khanous caught in the centre circle in the Morocco half by Lewis Ferguson. So just over quarter now gone in. Boston, Scotland 0, Morocco 1. Scotland looking for their second win over Scotland in this competition, as they did in 1998. So Morocco take the short free kick. Here's El Ainaoui. On halfway is Brahim Diaz. Diaz just tapped it to Hakimi. In terms of control possession, 65% in the favour of Morocco at the moment. In the centre circle, now halfway with Riyad. Short for Diop. A light touch to El Ainaoui. Surges for Saibari, intercepted though from Tierney. And now Scotland in the centre circle. Christie to McGinn. Red from Masrari. Now McGinn gets it back. McGinn to his right to Patterson. Trying to steam down that side. Well-timed challenge for El Khanous. It comes off Patterson last, and El Khanous just does a fist pump to his adoring Moroccan supporters. That's great work there from El Khanous then. Morocco take the throw. Volley falls from Riyad. Bounced over the head of Sabari. That's in the centre circle in the Scotland half with Hendry. Ferguson goes short midfield to McTominay. McTominay's pass read from Bouadi. Rolls there to Patterson. Patterson lose out in the 50-50 against El Khanous, who goes backwards towards the centre circle. And now it's an easy turn for El Ainaoui. Hakimi. Brahim Diaz has Unai in support down that flank. Diaz midway in the Scotland half. Scoots it forwards now for the run of Hakimi in the box. Hakimi gets a toe into it, but it's blocked from Angus Gunn. And a square pass out the area from Ferguson to Robertson. Back now to Ferguson. Dangerous run there. Macrath Hakimi just a few seconds ago. McTominay. Scotland being pressed back here, but they play through the press now on the left-hand side. Robertson looking for Christie. Does get a layoff to Adams, who's midway inside his own half. Adams, and I'm sure Steve Clark want Adams pushed way further forward. Now it's back to Gunn. Gunn goes long. Too high from McGinn, headed away from Masrari. Now McGinn dispossesses Bouadi, but the flag has gone up against Scotland for an offside against John McGinn. But Hakimi, great athleticism. Hanley was trying to just leave it for Gunn. Hakimi got his toe end onto it, and Gunn just managed to stop it going past him with his right boot. So Morocco take the short free kick. Diaz, that's great pressing on the far side by Christie. Forcing Diaz to play possession backwards to Diop. Gadi Riyad. Just a reminder, if you are watching as well as listening to us, make sure you are watching through your local broadcaster. Achraf Hakimi again plays infield to El Ainaoui. Now Chadi Riyad. Square across the back to Diop. It is Unai. Hakimi wants it. So this goes a lot more shorter to El Ainaoui. Unai again halfway. Scoops it forwards. The run of Hakimi on the right hand side has to be quickly cleared there by Kieran Tierney. It's a really good foot race between Hakimi and Tierney. Tierney just got to it. And Moroccan fans are in great voice at the moment. They would be very pleased with what they've seen so far, looking to record their first win in the tournament. That was still a really good point for the Moroccans against Brazil. In fact, actually, I beg your pardon, it's not a throw-in, it's a corner kick to Morocco on the far side for the skipper to take. Achraf Hakimi, can Morocco double their advantage? Hakimi outswing for the right-hand side, headed away there by Hanley, unsurprisingly. And that's food and drink for Grant Hanley, just head and balls out the box. That's what he does. So corner number 2, got Achraf Hakimi to take. And raises his right arm. Hakimi, corner towards near post, headed away from McTominay. And that's Bouadi with a shot, hits the backside of Christie. Rolls out to Hakimi, who is onside. Hakimi puts the ball in court at his near post by Angus Gunn. Now can Scotland quickly get themselves up the field? Actually, Gunn takes his time. Rolls it into defensive midfield to Ferguson. Ferguson now looking for a forward pass, has a short one to Christie. Christie back to McTominay. It is Andy Robertson. And moves it along the middle of the Scotland half to Ferguson. So we are just over 20 minutes gone here in Boston. Scotland 0, Morocco 1, second minute half volley. And Ismail Saibari 2 from 2. The Moroccan striker. This competition so far. It has been a great competition so far. And the main host, United States, and a brilliant win against Australia earlier on. It's in the centre circle with Christie. McTominay tapped on halfway for Christie. A bit better than Scotland now in possession. And it's Tierney to Ferguson. In the centre circle there with Hendry. And short now to Ferguson to his left. And halfway Robertson. Now Tierney in possession. Tierney about 8-9 yards over halfway. Goes backwards to his left-sided defensive partner Robertson. Across the back line from Hendry to Hanley. Bit of possession over Scotland. They're not really advancing with it. Ferguson's Hanley, but it's just what they need to calm them down though. Hendry can tap to Robertson. Can go short here for Christie. Back to Robertson. Scotland midway inside their half. On the ball with Hendry. Hendry now dragging it onto his right foot. Hendry can go square to Robertson. Can Scotland get themselves out of the back line? They go further back. Robertson to Hendry. Square to Hanley. Scotland midway inside the half with Patterson. Patterson now goes for direct route. Now was there a push in the middle on Shay Adams. The referee does point for free kick and looks to be yellow card given as well to Issa Diop. And Ilgiz Tantashev, the referee, certainly had no choice but to show yellow there. It was a blatant, he wasn't the last man Diop, but it was a blatant push on Shay Adams. So they'll take him on for the team there, Issa Diop, because a massive gap for Scotland to run through the middle there. Well, certainly not pleased. The Moroccan manager Mohamed Ouabi. And he certainly has giant shoes to fill. Stepping in for Walid Regragui. We've got Morocco to the semi-finals last time out. One achievement that was. 23 minutes on the clock. Scotland 0, Morocco 1 in Boston as Morocco look to go to the top of Group C. So free kick for Scotland. 35 yards and goal. Clip from Ferguson. And now lifted into the middle of the box there for Christie. Volleyed away from Masraoui. That's all the way back in the Scotland half with Lewis Ferguson. Further back to Gunn. Gunn about 10 yards ahead of his area. Gunn long towards the left. Looking for Tierney. It's headed backwards from Hakimi, but there was a two-handed push from Tierney into the back of Hakimi. One of the big criticisms of Steve Clarke in major tournaments is that, again, he's just a bit too passive with his management. Again, in a Europe's major international competition, and Steve Clarke did get a really good result against Gareth Southgate's England 5 years back, but it's probably the standout result for Steve Clarke at a major tournament. So now we are having the hydration break, but Morocco in control this one. Scotland haven't really laid a glove on the Moroccans. And it was a really good finish from Saibari. Has Morocco in front. Saibari was born in Barcelona. She struggled in his early years, taking his first steps until the age of 2 actually, owing to a congenital condition. It's a great condition. He actually had to wear a special orthopedic device for more than a year to keep his feet straight and help him walk. So, really nice story. Now you look at Saibari today on the global stage, scoring, and I'd say it wasn't even about the common football or anything like that. machine out and so much, was twice out, babies walk straight, and luckily for him it worked. So yeah, really nice story for Saibari. So him and his family must be very proud of him. But it's just so exciting as well for Morocco to have talents like 18-year-old Ayub Bouadi. He's one of the most sought after talents in Ligue 1. Made his senior debut for Lille at age 16 years and 3 days. Make him the youngest player again in a European club competition. He doesn't only possess the composure beyond his years, but just a very astute in the game, and he's so comfortable possession. Him and El Ainaoui, just so good in possession. Actually, El Ainaoui's son of a tennis legend as well. Would you believe it? So, young Moroccan tennis legend Younes El Ainaoui, he had to make a choice. He was younger. Did Neil whether to start playing football or tennis, and he chose football. And here he is in the biggest competition in the sport, the lot, and bossing it in midfield along with Bouadi. Migration break's now concluded, and Scotland try and get going. And Patson and Robertson haven't really advanced forwards, and McTominay and Adams haven't combined. It just hasn't worked for Scotland so far. So can this hydration break do them some good? Try and get a little bit of momentum together to try and test Bono between the Moroccan sticks. So 27 minutes on the clock, ready to get back on the way. And speaking of Bono, walking towards the ball now. There's a free kick for Morocco. It's where it concluded before the hydration break. So now Bono can take the free kick, left-footed. Looking for Saibari, and a met from Ferguson. Now Bouadi, not it just ahead of him. Play away from Robertson, control from Eli now in the centre circle. Now Bouadi moves back in his own half. Short right-footed pass to Hakimi. That's in central defence with Diop. Riyad. Once more Issa Diop. McTominay running towards him. Diop though picks out Hakimi. First time pass bobbled back to Diop. Chade Riyad. Plenty of time for Riyad in possession. Now Adams is engaging with him. Square to Mazraoui. It is Unai on the left-hand side. Good pressing from Christie. So Morocco have to go backwards. Mazraoui to Chade Riyad. Riyad now across the back line. Easily controlled from Issa Diop. Brahim Diaz midway inside his half. Diaz just strokes it backwards to Diop. Here's Chade Riyad. El Ainaoui wants it in midfield, but Adams shutting down that space. So simple ball across the back from Riyad to Diop. And now Saibari. Now Tierney wins it back on halfway against Hakimi. Tierney looks towards Adams, but that is well read there from Chade Riyad. And Bono from the 6-yard box. Square in the area for Diop. Now Diop, is he going to go long? That goes short to Hakimi instead. Diop level with the Moroccan penalty area. Diop to Bouadi. First time pass back for Bono. So Morocco just so at ease on the ball despite Scotland pressing in Morocco's own area. Riyad to Bono. Bono now goes to his right to Diop. Now Diop goes for the long ball, looking over the top, headed forwards from Hendry. Trapped on the chest here of El Khanous. And now Diaz down the right hand side. Great run from Brahim Diaz. Bursting towards the box. Diaz, great low centre of gravity. Diaz plays a 1-2 with Saibari in the box. Now Diaz a bit wider than he initially wanted. Diaz cuts it back, shot over the bar. Great chance for Morocco to go 2-0 up. It was El Ainaoui who let fly inside the box, but couldn't keep it down. Great run from Diaz, combined with Saibari. As I said, Diaz a little bit too wide, probably wanted. Cut it back for El Ainaoui, and he couldn't keep his right-footed shot down. Again, more warning signs of Scotland being opened up, and could easily fall further behind in this contest. Half hour played in Boston. Scotland 0, Morocco 1. Hendry. To his left of Robertson. Hendry on the ball again. Goes to his central offensive partner, Grant Hanley. And Jack Hendry. Short right footed pass to Andy Robertson. Robertson whips it down the far side. Was a faint flick on for Christie. It just goes back to Bono. Again, Scotland are going for the long balls, but just aren't working. Bono rolls it now to El Ainaoui. Shadi Riyad. El Ainaoui wants it back. Still goes to Masraoui. Now El Ainaoui. El Ainaoui links up with Riyad. Wadi. Midway inside his half. Diop against Scotland, just so passive here. A bit too comfortable in their shape, especially a side who's 1-0 down. Morocco now with Diaz, tackled on the halfway line, rolls loose. Boadi gets his toe into it, but now McGinn turns in the centre circle. He's knocked off the ball from El Ainaoui, striding forwards down the inside left. El Ainaoui gets his touch wrong, then brings down Ferguson inside the Scotland penalty area. And it'll be a free kick to the Scots, but again, the run from El Ainaoui was very good. Just got his touch wrong as he was heading towards the box and brought down Ferguson. Speaking of Ferguson, now on the ball, receives the free kick short from Robertson. Is Grant Hanley. Now plays it back in the Scotland box to Hendry. Robertson. And Morocco pushing high. Scotland's in central defence. Played across the box and Hendry to Hanley. Now Hanley looks long, chested just behind halfway from McGinn to Christie. Ferguson, bit of time on the ball in defence midfield. And now Andy Robertson coming up towards halfway. Releases a 5-yard pass to Scott McTominay, who's been quiet so far. It's in the centre circle with Ferguson. To his right to Hanley, tapped over halfway to McGinn. Now McGinn playing it down the inside right, held up here, almost 40 yards in goal from Christie. Now Christie turns and is facing the Moroccan box. Patton inside to Christie. Christie easily dispossessed from El Ainaoui. Now Unahi goes over halfway to play to Saibari. Saibari midway in the Scotland half, turns, has to play it back through legs of Patterson into the feet of Elkanous, plays it in between Christie and McGinn. And now is Masraoui on the ball, square through the centre circle. Brahim Diaz looking for an outside run, has that with Boadi. Now Diaz on the edge of the penalty area. Does go on his outside to Boadi, it's behind him to Hakimi. Ayi Boadi again, once more behind him to Hakimi. Now Hakimi still on the ball. Boadi, Unai wants it, but Boadi goes to Hakimi. Now Unai on the ball, just under 40 yards from the target. Boadi, here's Unai. Now Unai on halfway, still playing a 1-2 with Hakimi. Now it's a tap from El Ainaoui to Unai. Here's Diaz trying to get the outside. McTominay blocks the ball with his left knee, but does concede a throw. 33 minutes played, Scotland 0, Morocco 1. Just a reminder, you are watching as well as listening to us. Make sure you're watching through your local broadcaster. And Diaz just moved a bit gingerly here after what was a clash of knees with Scott McTominay. McTominay came off a way less worse than Diaz. Diaz back on his feet now. Morocco do take the throw. And speaking of Diaz, combines with Shadi Riyad. Now here's Riyad midway inside Moroccan territory. Goes to Masraoui. First time from Boadi in between Christie and McGinn. Now Morocco down the left hand side. Saibari wants it back. Scuff pass from Elkanous. Block, but Elkanous gets another bite at the cherry. Elkanous pass block from Hanley. Elkanous gets a third bite at the cherry. It's played to Masraoui. Left side of the box. Cross comes in. Cleared away left footed. Out for a throw from Tierney. Again, Morocco really well down the left hand side. Just couldn't quite get that final ball right. Rotate from Morocco now. Boadi to Riyad. Here's Diop in the centre circle. Tapped over halfway. Morocco still in the centre circle with El Ainaoui. Now Unai. Saibari holds it up. Close to the centre circle now. Backwards from Boadi to Diop. Riyad. Left footed. Morocco virtually on halfway with El Ainaoui. Here's Brahim Diaz on the ball. El Ainaoui on halfway. Diaz back to El Ainaoui again. Morocco just feels like a training session for them when they're in possession. So here is sharp turn. Now played to Ayi Boadi. Out towards left hand side. Too much on it though for Elkanous. Will be a throw for Scotland today. Thrown backwards now from Patterson to Hanley. Hendry looking to bring it out the back. Can he go in midfield? He goes to his left hand side where Robertson goes inside to midfield to Ferguson. Slip there from El Ainaoui gets McTominay now. El Ainaoui wins the tackle. Morocco's trying it forward. Saibari. Tel Khanous lifts it over. Golden opportunity for Morocco to go 2-0 in front. Steve Clark saying to the officials it was a definite foul. McTominay, as El Ainaoui just got his body. El Ainaoui lost his balance, then just got his body across McTominay. The referee disagreed. He thought it wasn't a foul for El Ainaoui. And then Morocco surged forward through the middle. Saibari squared it to the left side of the box. Well, Khanous couldn't keep his lifted effort down with his right foot. Should have done better there, El Khanous. El Ainaoui, did he just take a whack from McTominay as well? Because he's lost his balance, El Ainaoui. Sort of dived across Scott McTominay. And El Ainaoui does have a tissue over his mouth. So I think there was a connection then from McTominay on the Moroccan midfielder. Stephen Naismith, Scotland's assistant coach. Just getting some instructions. So El Ainaoui just biting on the tissue at the moment. So yeah, definitely a fair bit of blood there actually. McTominay's boots certainly made a connection with his mouth. So Hendry now takes the goal kick short. Is Scotland on the ball with Ferguson? Scotland, by the way, yet to register a single shot in this first half. Played 37 minutes here in Boston. Scotland 0, Morocco 1. Passing just over halfway inside to Christie. Backwards to Patterson. Hanley now. It's on square to Hendry. Under pressure from Unai. Now it's on halfway. Tierney's pass. Fizzed and given away. Now a lovely back heel into the feet of Hakimi from Diaz. Hakimi in the attacking third. Hakimi cuts in the box. Laid off to Diaz. Diaz tackle from Hendry, but Diaz still has it. Diaz trying to twist and turn away from Hendry. Diaz, still Diaz twisting, turning. Diaz can get a square pass off, goes behind him to El Ainaoui. And now is Diaz. Diaz drills it in, it just bounced off Saibari. Falls here for Robertson, plays it short to McTominay. Now on the stretch, feeds it to Tierney. Kieran Tierney over halfway. Tierney shoved in the back, and the referee does point to his right for free kick to Scotland. It did look a clear shove on Kieran Tierney. Still quite a bit of blood on El Ainaoui's tissue. Actually made the foul on Kieran Tierney. Yeah, just a nudge into the back of the Scotland left back. The back heel just a moment ago from Brahim Diaz to Achraf Hakimi was exquisite. And Morocco in third control this one. Love it. 2-goal lead though going into the break. And can Scotland try and get their first shot in this match? Again, Andy Robertson take the free kick and Brahim Diaz just picks up the ball and puts the ball in the magic spray. I think thought Andy Robertson was just trying to cheekily gain a few yards. Free kick for Robertson then. Just over 40 yards from goal. She's level with the centre circle this. To the left at Robertson. Whips in with his left foot, too high for Hanley, but it's going to be kept in play for Hendry. On the byline, on the right, Hendry tackle from Masraoui. Trickles out of play. And it's gone in the favour of Masraoui, I think. Yep, it has gone in the favour of the Moroccan. Again, Scotland needs to try and do more from these set-piece situations. Well, actually, say not bad delivery, probably not the greatest though. Bit too heavy for Hanley. In the end, for that delivery from Andy Robertson. So Bono to drill this forward for Morocco. Bono, left-footed, towards left-hand side, too high in the end for Saibari. Here's Patterson to take a throw midway inside the Scotland half. Throw taken, headed from Masraoui. Backwards now to Masraoui from El Khanous. Now here's Unai, just over 35 yards from goal, right in the middle. Square to Hakimi. Hakimi just flicks in front into Unai. Back to Hakimi. Unai again, have their own little game at the moment on the right hand side. Hakimi and Unai. Hakimi's the latest of the parents had the ball. El Ainaoui, Hakimi now in the attacking third on the inside right for Brahim Diaz. Now moves dead central, turns away from two players then. Tierney makes the tackle, McTominay holding it up. And now Christie can come away with it. Christie needs support. Christie now looks to play it backwards. It's blocked there from Hakimi. Now Hakimi into the feet of Unai. Morocco just inside their own half, just slowing it down. We have just under 5 minutes left at the first half. Just a reminder, if you are watching the game as well as listening to us, make sure you are watching it through your local broadcaster. With Scotland 0, Morocco 1. Just approaching the 41st minute. Here's Diop. Short to Unai. There's that free roll in this Morocco team. Unai in halfway. Nice sharp turn from Bouhaddi. Aïe Bouhaddi. Back in the centre circle to El Ainaoui. Square to Mazraoui. Out here to El Khanous. Back to Mazraoui. And Scotland just seems so concerned to stay in their shape. They need to try and be a bit more proactive here. Forwards from Morocco down the left now. Saibari peels up wide. His pass inside cut out from Christie. McGinn trying to turn it. Tackle from Saibari now. Holding up the ball is Bouhaddi. He goes down. Actually, Bouhaddi handled the ball and the referee didn't think it was a foul. So it's a free kick in the favour of John McGinn. Actually, Ryan Christie was the one. Bouhaddi said he made Christie made a nudge in, but the referee disagreed. It is Scotland on the ball now, just behind halfway on the left. With Tierney back to Robertson. Hanley. Now square for Hendry. 3 minutes left in normal time in this first half in Boston. Scotland 0, Morocco 1. Robertson goes long. That's way too high for Tierney. He was on the edge of the box, inside left channel. He's back here with Bono. Bono, is he going to roll it or just go long? He's going to go long, left-footed from the D. And now flicked on from El Khanous. Bit too much on that flick in the end. Or Saibari. Now his gun on the ball, sees it from Hanley. In the Scotland penalty area now in the D with Hendry. Hendry takes it about 4 or 5 yards further forwards. Hendry just taps it to his right to Hanley. Hanley now looking for a line-breaking pass. Does find McGinn by the centre circle. McGinn turns. He's inside right. 30 yards and goal. McGinn moves out wide. Good tackle there from Mazraoui. I thought it was a good tackle. Mazraoui furious. He felt he won the ball, but the referee has awarded a free kick in Scotland's favour. I have to say, I thought, and looking back at it, Mazraoui definitely won the ball, but the referee disagreed. 2 minutes of normal time left this first half. Can Scotland try and at least get their first attempt of this match? So free kick wide left, about 24-25 yards away from goal. For Lewis Ferguson to deliver for the Scots. Looks like he's going to put out square ring Ferguson. Ferguson ball in, it's flicked away. And Morocco keeper in play with Hakimi on the right hand side. Hakimi down the line, no runner close enough to get to it. Scotland have it back in their half with Christie, Patterson. And now here's Ferguson in centre circle. Worked forwards on the right hand side to McGinn. McGinn turns, trying to get away from Mazraoui. Mazraoui gets his body in between McGinn and the ball. There was a shove there from McGinn. There's a free kick from Morocco. McGinn not best pleased the officials. Well, I have to say, the shove wasn't too much from McGinn, so I can understand this frustration. It was a vital header from Saibari from the free kick Scotland had a moment ago. So free kick here for Morocco, 30 seconds of normal time left this first half. Bono in his very jazzy lime green kit. Left-footed down the near side. Swerves over the top of Saibari though. Throw for Scotland. Patterson to take it. Nathan Patterson searching for options. Goes in field to Christie. Let's touch it back to Hanley. Now first time from Gunn to Hendry. Here's Gunn again, he's in the 6-yard box. Gunn to Ferguson. First time square pass to Hendry. Now McTominay has it. Deep line midfield position. And goes back to his goalkeeper. 5 minutes The first half stoppage time in Boston. Can Scotland level up going into the break? Haven't even registered an attempt yet. Hendry coming towards the halfway line. Hendry now. Right foot to pass. Adams, who's dropping deep. Back to McTominay on the halfway line. McTominay now. That's a really nice pass. Swept out to the left-hand side. Scotland in the attacking third. Goes in field from Robertson to McTominay. McTominay holds off Waddy. Has no full pass on. Has to go backwards to Hendry. Scotland by the centre circle with Ferguson. Played across midfield to Christie. Now Christie to Patson. Level with the penalty area. Patson puts a cross in. Adams completely misses the ball. Scotland have edge of the box. Robertson whips in. And McGinn volleys wide. He made a mess of that, John McGinn, at the back post. The width from Robertson was perfect. Yes, it was a tie angle from McGinn. And again, he didn't make the connection he wanted. Started off with a cross and Patson. Adams, it was an air shot from him. Then Robertson ran onto it. Whipped into McGinn. And McGinn just volleyed it into the sky at the back post. Could have easily volleyed that at least on target. Yes, the angles are slightly tight, but McGinn so disappointed with himself. Scotland get themselves a throw in their half. Passing to take minute and a half of first half stoppage time gone. Now Patson lifts it forwards of halfway. Felt he's fouled. The referee waves play on. McGinn through the centre. Guardi chased him down. Now it's McGinn into the feet of Tierney. Tierney puts a delivery in, headed it away from Diop. Control for Ferguson. The D. Ferguson tackled. Edge of the box with Tierney. Now Adams left side the area. Adams cuts it back for Tierney. Tierney's shot blocked with the right knee of Azzedine Unai. Now Scotland finally starting to step it up. Turn to stoppage time to do that in this first half. Well, Ferguson looks to be caught actually from Alainawi inside the D. No free kick was awarded. Throw for Scotland on the left hand side. Well, yellow, is that yellow card shown or a warning from the referee? And Robertson unhappy about something. I think it was just a warning. So it is a throw for Scotland State from the left hand side. Tierney with the long one. It's flicked off of Hendry, controlled though from Mazraoui and then pelted away. Back into the Scotland half over midway. It's the 5 minutes of first half stoppage time. Scotland 0, Morocco 1 in sunny Boston. Gunn. He goes short here to Ferguson. Ferguson now. Tap to Andy Robson. 5-yard pass over halfway to Tierney. Back to Robertson. Scotland level with the centre circle with Hendry. Hendry looks for the crossfield pass to McGinn on the inside right. And just bounced away from Mazraoui, who was there, pushed there from McGinn. Well, actually, neither McGinn or Mazraoui got a touch. So that results in a Morocco throw. Morocco almost there. In terms of being in front of half-time. Mazraoui's throw volley force from Alainawi. And he's fast to Chester Ferguson. Lifts it towards the box. Bouncing now. Diop heads away. McTominay heads in the air. He's saying he's fouled. Nothing given. Diop heads away for Morocco. Almost got Unai's way. Scotland in the centre circle with Hendry. Back to Hanley. And now here's Ferguson, the halfway line. Robertson. Looks like he has to go backwards here, Andy Robertson. It's the feet of Ferguson. That's exactly what he does. Scotland on halfway. McTominay. Into the last minute now. The 5 stoppage time. Hanley slips as he played that forwards. And his pass towards the attacking third went in behind of Che Adams. So it's just roll back with ease for Bono. Bono now releases it with his left foot, looking for Saibari to pin Hanley back. Hanley heads away. Controlled it from Christie. Christie nudged the floor from Unai. No free kick given. Now Ferguson tackled it. Rolls loose on Morocco's left to El Khanous. Prods it to Saibari's facing away from goal. Now Alainawi has it. Here's Mazraoui back in the Morocco half to Shadi Riyad in the centre circle. Just 20 seconds left of stoppage time. And Morocco just pass it with ease at the moment. You can see out there 1 goal advantage to the break. Alainawi on halfway. Morocco still in the centre circle with Riyad. Alainawi back to Riyad. And the 5 minutes are up here in Boston, the first half. And Morocco still continue the ball now. Definitely the half-time whistle has gone. here in Boston, where Ismail Saibari is 2-2 for him this tournament. Inside the second minute, delicious ball from Brahim Diaz, and Saibari smashed it on the half volley right side the penalty area. Scotland woke up in first half stoppage time, but overall they were really poor that first half. It was such a simple half from Morocco. Again, had a few more opportunities of their own. El Khanous lifting one over the bar, but Scotland need to step it up second half here in Boston. Morocco lead by 1-0 at the break in Group C.
Thank you for listening to FootMob's audio commentary. Be sure to check out player ratings, shot maps and more in-depth info on the match page. Remember to check out FootMob's social channels on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter and TikTok. Thank you for listening to FootMob's audio commentary. Be sure to check out player ratings, shot maps and more in-depth info on the match page. Remember to check out FootMob's social channels on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter and TikTok. Thank you for listening to FootMob's audio commentary. Be sure to check out player ratings, shot maps and more in-depth info on the match page. Remember to check out FootMob's social channels on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter and TikTok. Thank you for listening to FootMob's audio commentary. Be sure to check out player ratings, shot maps and more in-depth info on the match page. Remember to check out FootMob's social channels on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter and TikTok. Thank you for listening to FootMob's audio commentary. Be sure to check out player ratings, shot maps and more in-depth info on the match page. Remember to check out FootMob's social channels on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter and TikTok. Thank you for listening to FootMob's audio commentary. Be sure to check out player ratings, shot maps and more in-depth info on the match page. Remember to check out FootMob's social channels on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter and TikTok. Thank you for listening to FootMob's audio commentary. Be sure to check out player ratings, shot maps and more in-depth info on the match page. Remember to check out FootMob's social channels on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter and TikTok.
Hello and welcome back to Boston's second half between Scotland and Morocco. About to get underway. It was a really timid first half and Scotland very comfortable from Morocco. Just took them 2 minutes to get themselves on the score sheet. 2-2 in this year's tournament so far. Ismail Saibari was actually once told he was too fat by one of his former coaches to play football. Well, look who's having the last laugh now, scoring on the global stage. But there certainly needs to be a lot better than Scotland this half. They just showed Morocco way too much respect in that first. What a finish it was for Saibari. Slight tight angle right side of the penalty area, but he lashed it on the hard volley into the roof net. Not a chance for Angus Gunn. So what have Scotland got for us in the second half? We're about to get underway with Scotland shooting from right to left, and it'll be Shea Adams to get. In fact, Shea Adams actually leaves it. It's going to be Scotland to punt the ball forwards through John McGinn, and it bounces straight out for a Morocco throw on their right hand side. But of course, one of those kickoffs, hit it long, they can try and squeeze up from the off. Very, very popular these days in the beautiful game. Now it's Hakimi, or is it short to Boadi? Hakimi clears it, looking for Saibari. Header one from Hendry. Now nodded from Christie. Header halfway from Hendry, now lifted back from Ferguson. Saibari on the chasers, slash forwards from Gunn towards the right. Cushion header from Mazraoui. El Khanous, he'll keep it in play midway in his half. El Khanous turns, goes forwards, intercepted from Ferguson. Now Scotland go backwards. Patterson into the feet of Hanley. It is Jack Hendry. Hendry square for Robertson. Hendry now on the ball again. And moves it along to Grant Hanley. Again, Hanley clips it. Forwards on the right hand side. McGinn, that's a really nice flick there. Just holding off Mazraoui. And now Scotland's still holding up on the right hand side. Christie back to Hanley. Down the centre circle to Hendry. McTominay deep as the midfielders. Now Ferguson actually moves even deeper to receive it behind McTominay. Ferguson out to Patterson. Ferguson again. Scotland just under 40 yards from goal. Lewis Ferguson still on the ball. Rolls it square to Hendry. Minute and a half gone. The second half work to the left hand side to Robertson. Robertson now. Gives it to Christie. Christie backwards to Hendry's level with the centre circle on the inside left. Now Christie further infield to Ferguson. McTominay just guides it back in the centre circle to Hanley. Ferguson once more to Hanley. Saibari moving towards him. Scotland on halfway on the far side with McTominay. Again back to Grant Hanley. Now along the back to Hendry. Hendry now moves into the Morocco half. Hendry to Robertson. Looking promising for Scotland. Robertson puts a cross in, header away from Diop on the near post. But that's better than Scotland. Out the traps quickly in search for leveller. Surely there must have been words in that Scotland dressing room. Half time again, that first half that, certainly not out of it, but it wasn't good enough at all in terms of a consistent attacking threat. Owen really livened up in the 5 minutes of stoppage time we had in the first half. So throw for Kieran Tierney to launch in. Tierney's throw looking for Hanley. Hanley does win a flick on, but Morocco do head away. Now Robertson heads it back out to Tierney. Scotland 30 yards and goal with Ferguson. That's in the centre circle with Patterson. Christie on the half turn, can't play it forwards. Good press from his opposite number, Saibari. Scotland in the half, it's long from Hendry, but now trapped on the chest of Diaz. Takes it around of Kieran Tierney. Diaz slows it down. Now Diaz is over halfway. Diaz short to Saibari. Return back in the centre circle with Diaz. Diaz then nudged from McGinn. Nothing given. Now McGinn gets Scotland on the attack. McGinn edge of the box, needs support. McGinn still keeps hold of it. Still John McGinn. Now was McGinn fouled in the box. The referee's point, is he pointing to the spot? Scotland insisted it should be a penalty, and the referee's not giving it. Again, John McGinn. Well, was that a foul there? On McGinn by El Hainaoui. Was there enough contact with McGinn? It was definitely inside the box. No doubt about that. I'm not sure there was enough contact. McGinn and a fair few of his teammates screaming at the referee. Will this be looked at by VAR? At the moment, I don't think so. No, I think the referee's signalling for the goal kick to be taken. I'd probably say there was not enough contact there on John McGinn from El Ainaoui. But 4 minutes into the second half, and Scotland have done more in the 4 minutes in this half than they did in the whole of the first, to be honest. Bono, short goal kick to Diop. Hakimi. Now just behind him for Diop. Will Diop go direct? No, goes towards Hakimi. Scotland press now. Hakimi inside, but Hakimi's fouled. The referee waves play on. Buhari moves away from Adams. Now has room to square it to Mazraoui. Mazraoui to El Khanous on halfway. Nusseir Mazraoui now looks down the channel. El Khanous on the run. El Khanous away from Patson. El Khanous cuts it back. Saibari shot deflects onto the top of the bar. And then onto the roof of net. And it'll be a corner kick for Morocco. Great ball down the right-hand side to El Khanous. He cut it back for Saibari. And Saibari's shot, it took a deflection off of the diving Jack Hendry. It took it over Angus Gunn, clipped the topper's bar, then spun onto the roof of the net. And that's the danger that Morocco do possess. So it will be a corner on the left for, as it would be for Brahim Diaz to take short to Unai. Diaz again. Now Diaz goes to in-swing ball into the box. They're flicked for a corner kick from Grant Hanley. That was a vital flick as well, because it looked like Saibari was free at the back stick. A well-worked short corner. Vital flick there from Hanley. Actually, to be fair, Hendry was there as help. Although Hendry was dealing with Issa Diop as well. So corner now on the right-hand side for Morocco to take. It will be Achraf Hakimi. And El Ainaoui just involved in a push and shoving in the box. And Hendry goes down the area, but Hakimi takes the corner. Flick towards goal, near post, a knife and gun. Good reflexes there from Gunn and cleared out for a throw from Robertson. And that was an excellent stop from Gunn at his near post. It was a flick from El Khanous. And El Ainaoui's got a ripped shirt. It was involved in the tussle with Hendry. Yeah, it was a brilliant header at the near post from El Khanous, but Gunn again well alert at his near post to push it away. Two strong hands. El Ainaoui, ripped shirt, the battle that he was in with Jack Hendry. So there's a change of shirt now. Ball. Anil El Ainaoui. Throw from Morocco. 25 yards on goal. Hakimi takes Unai. Now Hakimi, a nice little touch to Unai on the right. Unai puts the cross in the box. Control for Saibari. Can't get a shot off though. Yeah, couldn't get the control right. This rolls to Angus Gunn. Now Gunn, speaking of rolling, he rolls it to Ferguson. Slap pass from Ferguson, but Patson will get onto it by the corner flag. Patson then just passes it straight out of play. Patson struggling here. Again, El Khanous left him for dead a minute or so ago. There's a slap pass then. Patson throw from Morocco. Goes backwards on the left. Unai, just over 35 yards from the target. Square to Mazraoui. Unai on the ball again. Gives it to Mazraoui once more. Now just behind halfway from Morocco is Chadi Riyad. Diop in the centre circle. Diop right-footed. Now roll for Diaz to hold up. Hakimi finds Diaz inside right. Diaz was a kick from behind. Nothing given. The referee said that Ferguson won the ball. Ferguson now. Back to Hendry. Now Gunn in the 6-yard box. Now just on the penalty spot. Right-footed pass. Swept to Hendry. Hendry moves right in the middle of Scotland's territory. And Ferguson wants it from Hanley. Gets it. Now McTominay, first time pass back to Ferguson. Square to Hendry. Scotland over halfway with Hendry. Now to Robertson midway in the Moroccan half. Making up with Adams dropping slightly deeper. Was there push down Tierney? Well, Tierney stays on his feet. Just goes the pass back in his half to Hendry. To Hendry to Hanley, now on halfway. Scotland out with McTominay. Now Scotland advancing on the right hand side. McTominay to Christie. Backwards to Ferguson. Ferguson now looks for McGinn. McGinn with a fleet, but intercept in the end. And it's a free kick given against Lewis Ferguson. And Ferguson displays frustration towards the referee, but he definitely made connection with the ankle of Azzedine Unai. So free kick for Morocco to take backwards. El Ainaoui. Bono. Short pass into Diop. Back to Bono. Now Morocco just looking to completely slow it down. Now Diop picks out El Khanous. El Khanous tackled, and now Ferguson going down the left-hand side. And Boadi keeps up brilliantly, just leads into Ferguson. And the referee doesn't give a foul. That was great tracker back from Boadi. Ferguson won the ball excellently. As was Hakimi dispossessed Ferguson. And as Scotland surged down the left, it was Boadi just leant into Ferguson. Ferguson went down hole in his face, but I think he's trying to con the referee there, Lewis Ferguson, because to me there didn't look anything in that. And Morocco have come close to the second half, hitting the bar. Inside Bari, shot deflected off of Hendry. There's that Lucic a moment ago, hit the top of the bar. Morocco at the back, just over 10 minutes gone the second half. Just a reminder, if you are watching the game as well as listening to us, make sure you're watching it through your local broadcaster. Ayoub Boadi. Here's Chadi Riyad. 5-yard square pass to Mazraoui. Mazraoui just lays it off to El Ainaoui. Now back here with Riyad. It is Unai. That's the Unai, just gone halfway. And a short pass to Brahim Diaz. And now it is Mazraoui. 3 yards beyond the halfway line. The number 3 goes back to the feet of Riyad. Here is Issa Diop. Boadi. Diop now in possession once more. Brings Hakimi into play. Yeah, it's back to Diop, and Morocco just completely slowing down things here. At the back with Chadi Riyad. Boadi on the half turn. Ayoub Boadi right footed. Roll to Diaz, about 3 yards in front of halfway. Diaz now links up Unai. Diaz just in front of halfway. Now El Ainaoui first line to Hakimi. Boadi inside right, trying to set away Hakimi, but intercepted from Tierney. Now Scotland with McTominay. McTominay keeps it well. McTominay. And now it's down the line from Robertson, but clear from halfway from Diop. And now Unai rolls it into the box. Brahim Diaz. Few step overs. Diaz. It's on his right foot. Diaz shot blocked. And now Scotland bring it out the area with Robertson. Robertson goes for direct route. Can't find Adams. Header one from Diop. Headed back over halfway from Christie. Now header one from Chadi Riyad. And the second ball picked up by Boadi. Just coolly back to Diop. Now Morocco can keep the ball on the ground. So Unai to Hakimi. Unai making a run down that inside right. Unai's been found. Hakimi moves in field. Unai 27 yards away from goal. Links up with Hakimi. It is El Khanous. Unai inside. And Scotland appearing for a throw. Did it come off Hakimi or Ferguson last? It did come off Lewis Ferguson. Steve Clark surely must be wondering how can he truly change this game. Scotland struggling at the moment. Actually, speaking of struggling, Kieran Tierney just sitting down the turf now, of course, for his injury history being so bad. Again, this is always extra concerning when Kieran Tierney goes down. Scotland fans be hoping that he finds continue, but certainly concern here for Kieran Tierney. It's been looked at and looks like Scotland are going to make a change. And Ben Galandoku, for me personally, was the stand-up player for Scotland against Haiti, and I'm sure a lot more would agree with me. Galandoku really had that tenacity to that Scotland forward line. Again, Doak, he's just somebody who's got such good talent. Again, he excelled in Celtic's youth system before being at Coach Anfield. Jurgen Klopp was a fan, but there was a combination of injuries and Klopp's exit which actually stalled the Wings' progress, and Tierney's now off for Ben Gannon. Doak can certainly be that game changer for Scotland. So hopefully it's not a serious injury for Kieran Tierney. Back underway in Morocco. At the back with Issa Diop. And Diop taking a few touches on the border's right foot. And now Bono rolls it across his area to Chadi Riyad. Riyad, a long ball down the left. Diving head away from Patton. Help forwards now from Ferguson. Headed down from Riyad. Second ball picked up from El Khanous. Now lifted from Mazraoui. Nice touch here from Diaz. Diaz pass deflects though into the path of Hendry. Scotland 5-6 yards behind halfway with Hanley. Pass it to McTominay. Back in defence now to Hendry. Robertson again has to go backwards. Scotland needs to try and advance forwards here. Gone to Hanley. Set himself for a long ball. Actually goes short in the end. Fooled me. Grant Hanley. Now Ferguson on the half turn. Here is Patterson. So just over an hour gone here in Boston in Group C. Let's kick off the second round of fixtures in this group. Scotland 0, Morocco 1. And earlier on, the main host, United States, beat Australia by 2-0. And now Morocco play it over halfway through night. And now it's El Khanous bursting into the box. El Khanous cross deflects in, and the deflection just took the sting off the ball. Scotland cleared through Hendry. Christie now square to Gannon Doak. His pass can't find a teammate. Buani steps onto it. And after this is the other game in this group, Brazil-Haiti. Flicked down the left-hand side to Mazraoui. And Mazraoui was caught in the official's eyes. Gannon Doak less than pleased that decision. It's a really clever flick from Mazraoui, actually through the legs of Patterson. Patterson's had such a tough game, I must say. So free kick on the left-hand side, level with the penalty area for Hakimi to take. And it's pretty important for Scotland to get the goal difference down. It could be vital for them possibly going through in a third spot. Hakimi delivers, head into the air from McGinn. Flip back towards the box. Helped on from Diop as well. It was a whip from Achraf Hakimi, shifted it away from Gannon Doak onto his right foot. Actually nowhere near finding the target. Achraf Hakimi, short goal kick from Scotland. Now Gunn has it again. So Doak Hanley now turn from Hendry out the box. Hendry being chased down from Sabari. Hendry pokes over halfway and then Diop pass it forwards, and stepping onto it is Ferguson to go long towards the left. McGinn on the chase against Hakimi. Hakimi now back to Bono. Again square to Hakimi. Achraf Hakimi and turns. Just play it across now into the D. There's a bit of time on the ball for Chadi Riyad. Square to Mazraoui. Riyad has El Ainaoui calling for it. So Riyad and Mazraoui combine again. Now Riyad onto his left foot. That brings El Ainaoui into play between the two centre-backs. It is Unai dropping deep. It's that license to roam wherever he wants. Buadi back to Diop. Morocco in their area. And the 6-yard box. So Bono lifts it into the air, bounces a couple of times, then Diop clears, takes deflection. No, now Scotland win it high up the pitch with Robertson. McTominay square now. It's a Christie shot over. And I don't think it took deflection. Good opportunity there for Scotland to equalise. Diop made a mess of the clearance. It bounced off the top of McGinn's head. Then Robertson went inside to McTominay, squared it inside the D for Christie. Christie off balance. Right footed effort, well over. That was better than Scotland. Again, pushing high to win it. So here is Morocco in possession here with Hakimi. Again, backwards it goes to Diop. And now Bono. Diop. Line breaking pass. Morocco midway inside the half. Now it's one back from Robertson against Diaz. McGinn. Clips it now for Robertson to chase, too far ahead of Andy Robertson. And that will be a goal kick to Morocco. Again, I'll say overall they're still pretty comfortable. They're 1-goal lead, but of course they want that second to fully kill it off. Christie, that was a decent opportunity for him to test Bono a moment ago. Bono has the ball in his left hand. Just puts it down on the line of the 6-yard box, and it's a short goal kick to Diop now. Hakimi. Here's Unai. El Ainaoui now to Hakimi. Hakimi gets around McTominay. Unai, tidy feet to keep away from Ferguson. Now Morocco create some space themselves in their half, coming towards halfway with El Ainaoui. Just rolls it square to Unai. Now Unai looking over the top. Was there a nudge there from Robertson on Hakimi? The referee looks like he is pointing him for a free kick to Morocco. And a yellow card as well. So it was clumsy there. For sure, that nudge on Achraf Hakimi for Andy Robertson. 25 minutes to go here in Boston. Scotland 0, Morocco 1. Very nice, such a deft ball over the top, and there's a definite pull from Andy Robertson. So Morocco take the free kick now out to left hand side. Brahim Diaz, 4 yards behind him for Bouadi. Here's El Khanous to Mazraoui. Back for Ayub Bouadi, calling for it in the middle is El Ainaoui. El Ainaoui, 30 yards and goal. 5-yard pass the inside right to Diaz. Now back in defence to Diop in the centre circle. It's with Shadi Riyad. And across to Diop. And now Diop on the ball again, combining with El Ainaoui. Bouadi on the half turn. Unai on the inside right, back for El Ainaoui. Now Bouadi, first time pass, left footed backwards to Diop. It's in the centre circle here with Riyad. Now Mazraoui to Diaz. Now still Morocco on the ball here with Diaz. Now El Khanous. Unai drags onto his right foot. Now works it out to Hakimi. Here's Unai, in Scotland just can't get the ball off Morocco. It feels like a glorified training session for Morocco at the moment, and couldn't be any further from that. They're on the biggest stage of them all in the beautiful game, and it's Mazraoui. It's the feet of Riyad in the centre circle. Hakimi walks the ball over halfway. Wide right is El Khanous. Combines with Hakimi. Bilal El Khanous. And drags it onto his right foot. Plays a give and go with Bouadi. It is El Ainaoui in the centre circle. Now squares to the inside right to Unai. Driving Morocco towards the box. Great fit for Unai. Was he pushing it back from Ferguson? Nothing given. Now Scotland go long towards the right hand side. Patton on the chase, and then it's just an easy pass from Mazraoui back to his goalkeeper. Again, Diop has his right foot on top of the ball. Diop now finds Hakimi. Hakimi moves into the Scotland half. Still Achraf Hakimi. Inside to Unai. Unai turns. Unai give and go with Diaz. Now Sabari lays it off to Brahim Diaz, edge of the box. Diaz trying to slide it through to Unai. In the penalty area, cleared away to safety from Patson. And I think the hydration break should be commencing now. Is indeed, and Scotland just really struggling in the last few minutes to try and push themselves up the pitch, and Morocco have got an excellent grip of this game. It's a second-minute goal from Ismail Sabari, which is the difference between the two sides. It's a fantastic half volley outside of the penalty area, but in Scotland they've got to try and find a way to up things, and Morocco, they were, a nation in shock from dramatically losing in the final of their continental major tournament. It was at Senegal home soil, but in the Atlas Lions they had a golden chance in the dying seconds to lift their first continental title in half a century, but instead, after a lengthy delay caused by Senegal leaving the pitch in protest at the penalty given against them, Brahim Diaz, ill-advised, Panenka was saved and certainly fractured the dressing room. And again, it's been a hard one for Morocco, but regather themselves now. And again, the Africa definitely part of the African heavyweights, and certainly Morocco were given a manageable group to get to this tournament, and also played 8 games at home, which let them focus on trialing different formation strategies, and set pieces is certainly one of Morocco's strong points. I mean, they've been called the Arsenal of Africa. Great they've been with their Deadpool game, but again the weaknesses for Morocco, and Guardiola's said past that beating low blocks is one of football's most difficult challenges, and Morocco would certainly agree that. Again, they do struggle to create consistent scoring chances against teams that, quite a air quotes, part the bus, but again, certainly it's not been an issue at this year's tournament compared to look at 4 years ago as well, where they had usually less possession than their opponents. And Hakimi, he is the leader of the side and certainly the best player, and he's such a top talent. Achraf Hakimi, the big leader, the experience in the side, and just gives that license to really push up the pitch. What can Scotland, though, produce in these final 20 minutes? An unbelievable way they got to this tournament. Unforgettable night at Hampden Park, beat Denmark by 4-2. So Scotland now bringing on some more substitutes. The double sub from Steve Clarke, Shay Adams and Ryan Christie off for Lyndon Dykes and Kenny McLean. Don't think Morocco are going to make any subs themselves. They're pretty happy to go what they got. So just under 20 minutes left. Morocco take the throw. Back to Issa Diop. Here's Bono. That's in the D here with Shadi Riyad. And Dyke straight away trying to be a nuisance towards Riyad. Bono now square for Diop. Here's Hakimi inside. Whip first line from Boadi. And a met from Hendry. It bounces out of play for Morocco throw, but Scotland just looked, I have to say, sounds very harsh, but half asleep for quite a lot of this game, really, considering the importance of it. It's long from Diop. Head away from Hendry. Heavy touch from McTominay. Takes it back into his own half, and then it's a foul on Diaz from McTominay. McTominay's really struggled to get into this game. And Hakimi just taps the free kick level with the centre circle. Boadi now back to El Ainaoui. There is Morocco on halfway with Mazraoui. Now El Khanous back to Mazraoui. Again, Scotland trying to push up the pitch. Gannon Doak leading it. Bono square out of his area now to Diop. Here's Hakimi midway in his half. Inside out in midfield with El Ainaoui. He's in line with Boadi, but doesn't go to Boadi with the pass. Instead, he gives it to Shadi Riyad. Riyad about 7 yards behind halfway. Now Morocco over the halfway line. Unai tries to set away El Khanous. Intercepted though from Patterson, then hits off at El Khanous. Is a throw for Scotland to take. Around about midway inside their half. So Patterson searching for the best option on the right. As the chest of Kenny McLean, flicks it to Dykes. Dykes holds it up. Dykes just behind halfway line now. Goes backwards from Scotland on the right hand side. And here is McTominay on the ball. About midway inside his half. Here's Grant Handley. Handley into the feet of Hendry. Square to Handley. Now it's a long ball for Grant Handley. Down the far side, Scotland to chase it down, but Bono gets there. There's a clash between Bono and Gannon Doak. And a real sore one for the pair of them. Well, Bono actually looks worse off than the Scotland wide man. Again, Gannon Doak showing his pace, and just the coming together between Gannon Doak and Bono. And again, wasn't any malicious intent at all. They just couldn't really get out of each other's way. The pace that the pair of them were going at. And Gannon Doak now back on his feet. It's good to see, and Bono as well to take the free kick for Morocco. Just a reminder, you are watching the game as well as listening to us. Make sure you are watching it through your local broadcaster. Scotland 0, Morocco 1. Just over a quarter an hour left. Bono with the free kick, too high for Sabari's goal, separates the two sides. Gunn rolls it to Hendry. Hendry now turns. Hendry. Square to Hanley. And Ferguson asking for it. And he goes backwards to Gunn. And now here's Hendry. Square to Robertson. Scotland midway inside the half. Robertson. Long ball. Dykes can't head it down. Diop defeats him in the air. So halfway here now with Diaz. Diaz takes it out of play. Now McGinn fighting to get the ball off of Diaz. Diaz trying to cheekily hang on to it. Robertson eventually takes the throw for Scotland. Links up with Ferguson. So quarter an hour left here in Boston. Can Scotland try and get a vital leveller to keep themselves top of the group? Patterson goes long. Volleyed away by Morocco. Cushion header to Kenny McLean. Lifted back now. Well controlled from Hendry. Hendry now moves it forwards to McLean on halfway. Kenny McLean inside left. Now it's McGinn. Back to McLean. Robson, first time pass blocked though from Diaz. Now Hakimi. It is Adli Unai. Brahim Diaz onto his right foot. Just rolls it back to Unai, to Boadi. There's a 1-2 with El Ainaoui. And now Morocco coming out the fence with Riyad. Two's left to Mazraoui. Morocco at 6 yards behind the halfway line. Riyad just completely slowing down the play here. El Ainaoui. And now Issa Diop. Here's Azdi Unai, right-footed. Morocco just behind halfway with Hakimi. Hakimi now plays it in behind the Scotland defence. And Diaz in behind. Diaz onto his left foot. Good challenge there from Hendry. And it rolls for Gunn to clear first time, but not forward to Mazraoui. El Kanous. Here is Mazraoui. Towards the byline now in the box. Mazraoui goes to cross towards the back post. Diaz can't get to it. And there was a foul there from Diaz. And the referee has blown up for free kick. And Diaz just lost his balance. And yeah, John McGinn got the free kick because of that. And McGinn worked really hard, but maybe hasn't been as effective as he wanted to be. So free kick from Scotland is Ferguson. 77 minutes on the clock. Scotland 0, Morocco 1 in Boston. Morocco overtakes Scotland in the group with a victory. Ferguson, first time to McTominay from Kenny McLean. Dykes just in front of halfway. Out to Gannon Doak. Gannon Doak, few step overs. Gannon Doak now trying to surge down the right hand side. Here's Ben Gannon Doak. Great pace in Gannon Doak. Cross bar, Gannon Doak gets back onto it in the box. Still Gannon Doak then. Just takes heavy touch. And gathered in the 6 yard box by Bono. That was really good from Gannon Doak. Trying to drive at Morocco. So Bono goes long. Too long there for Sabari. Morocco still haven't made a sub. And we're coming up to the 78th minute. Here's Kenny McLean. Albeit Morocco team are doing a great job. McLean through the middle to McTominay. McTominay now trying to hold on to it. Good tackle from Boadi. It rolls out here to Gannon Doak. Gannon Doak now. A few players around him. Lays it back into the feet of Kenny McLean. Lost his balance and Mazraoui makes the tackle. Can Morocco counter? El Kanous stopped in his tracks though from Kenny McLean. Gannon Doak gets onto it. Lays off to Patterson and prodded back into Scotland half to Hanley. Here is Hendry now, surging forwards from the centre circle. Here's Scotland inside right with Kenny McLean. Now wide on that far side with Gannon Doak. Few step overs against Mazraoui, but it's a cross block from Boadi. Now Boadi comes away with the ball. Aye, Boadi, the stand-up players at the tournament so far. And now Morocco down the left-hand side with Saibari. Sabari rolls in field, but nobody there. Nobody there in the end for Morocco. McGinn now trying to surge Scotland up the pitch, and McGinn saying he was tripped, nothing given. And Morocco on the ball with Issa Diop. 79 minutes played here in Boston. Scotland 0, Morocco 1. Morocco just walking the ball at the moment with Masbari. Down left for Saibari, about 10 yards in the Scotland half. Now Morocco level with the centre circle. Bouadi and El Ainoui combining. That midfield pivot's been so imperative for Morocco so far this competition. Diop now into Riyad. Maswari. Morocco far more comfortable, the two teams on the ball. First time to Bouadi in the centre circle from El Khanous. Now Hakimi. Ball down the right to Diaz. Back to Hakimi. It's 35 yards and goal. Unai and Hakimi exchanging a few passes. Hakimi now the latest of the parents have the ball. McGinn just knocked into the back of Hakimi. Hakimi turns to the referee, not best pleased with that. Shani Riyad now. Toe pokes it short to Maswari. Midway inside his half. Back to Bono. 10 minutes left here in Boston then. It's Scotland 0, Morocco 1. Again, Diop plays it through the Scotland forward line. Now it's a well-weighted pass from Unai to Hakimi. Tackle there from Ferguson. Goes out playing. Finally, Morocco will be making a substitution. It looks to be Soufiane Rahimi to come on here for Morocco. The Atlas Lions have done a really good job so far in Boston. So Rahimi just that fresh pair of legs to come on shortly to help see this out. Hakimi throwing back here to Diop. And now Bono to Riyad across the box to Diop. Diop right-footed. We'll trap here from Unai. Now Unai turns and Ferguson wins it off him. Referee says that wasn't a foul from Ferguson. Scotland on halfway. Robertson to Hendry. It's Hendry again in the centre circle. Now Grant Handley has his right foot on top of the ball. Rolls it square to Patterson. Patterson now switch of play. And now it bounces to Robertson. Robertson heads it on. Now McGinn heads down. Now chance of Scotland to come forward. And Robertson squares it. Scott McTominay, can he get shots off? McTominay tackled in the box. The referee waves it away. McTominay just couldn't get the ball out of his feet quick enough to get the shots towards goal. Now Morocco down the left-hand side. El Khanous taking on Patterson. El Khanous can get a ball in. El Khanous does get a ball in. Just a calm chest from Ferguson to chest it down for Gunn. And now Gunn just wondering what to do here. 8 minutes to go, normal time in Boston. Scotland 0, Morocco 1. Scotland with Grant Handley. It's in the D here with Hendry. Once more, it's Grant Handley. Hendry again, still in the D as well. Hendry now plays it forwards to Ferguson, who's the deepest of the midfielders. Robertson. Now here is Hendry, just beyond the centre circle. And square to bit of Kenny McLean. McLean now bounces the ball forward to McTominay. Scotland right side of box with Dykes. Dykes wide position. And that's great work there. That is fantastic for Shani Riyad to see the ball out for a goal kick. But Scotland, some good football down the inside right channel. Dykes just couldn't get the shot off, just like McTominay a couple of minutes ago, where he did feel a slight bit of contact from, I have to say, the Moroccan midfielder El Ainoui, but nothing was given. I wouldn't say that was enough for a penalty, not surprised. VAR didn't look at that one, so it is as it stands the match winner. Saibari, he is coming off, and Soufiane Rahimi is on double substitution, actually, in fact triple substitution. Saibari, El Khanous and Diaz all off for Morocco. Is Rahimi, Shemstein Talbi, and also on the pitch is Ayoube and Mouni. So triple substitution now made. Goal kick for Morocco. Headed away by Scotland. Actually was a push on Ferguson, the man who headed it. So Ferguson just holding his low back, but he's fine enough to get back to his feet. Scotland take the free kick. Grant Handley. Handley now to Dykes. Holds up on halfway. Dykes lays it off to Gannon Doak. Backwards on the far side to Patson. Behind him to Hanley. And now Hendry. Right-footed. It is Andy Robertson. Robertson rolls it left-footed in the centre circle where Hendry takes it over halfway. Hendry now to the wide right. Gannon Dope midway in the Morocco half. Morocco have nearly everyone behind the ball. In fact, they do have everyone behind the ball. Now Scotland play down the right side. Lovely pass. McTominay goes a shot to the side netting. It took a deflection. So it'll be a corner kick. That was really good there for Scotland. Kenny McLean line-breaking pass. Found McTominay, who was right side the penalty area. His shot took a deflection, and the ball went to the side netting. Scotland have to throw everything out of this to try and get something to keep themselves at command in Group C. John McGinn delivers from the right-hand side. Header wide. Great opportunity for Lyndon Dykes. The corner was on the money, but Dykes couldn't find the target. McTominay was rising behind him, which actually might put off Lyndon Dykes a bit. So McTominay had two hands into Dykes' back. And that is a massive opportunity for Lyndon Dykes. Bono over the goal kick. And looked to be was there a foul there? No, there wasn't a foul on Raheem. He was sandwiched between two players. Going for the ball now. Here's Scotland over halfway. Kenny McLean. His pass deflects off of El Ainaoui now down the right hand side to McTominay from Patson, but McTominay could control properly. Half turn here from El Ainaoui. Now he looks over the top. Now Scotland have it back with Gunn as Hanny left it for him. 4 minutes of normal time left in Boston. Scotland 0, Morocco 1. Nathan Patson on the ball. Patson being harassed from Shamseen Talbi. Talbi still chasing down. Now it's back here with Gunn. Now Scotland play out the back with Hendry. Ferguson. Sharp turn from McGinn on the inside left. Now John McGinn out to left wing. Still John McGinn. Can he get a ball in? McGinn does scoop out across. And McTominay rises and he misses it. He jumped at the same time with a teammate. Couldn't quite see who that was. He jumped in at the same time. And Morocco on the ball in. It's Mazraoui in possession, and now El Ainaoui finds Unai just behind the centre circle. Unai looks to play in behind, couldn't quite find his intended target. And Al Maimouni. And now Scotland in the centre circle with Kenny McLean. And short here to Ferguson. This time backwards pass McTominay. Patson to Ferguson. Work down the right to McTominay. Now Gannon Dope. Rolls it backwards to Patson. Ferguson now, Kenny McLean. Left-footed, Scotland. 40 yards and goal. In the middle with Hendry. Now square to his right to Ferguson. Further forwards on that right wing with Gannon Dope. Trying to get beyond Mazraoui. Does that. Gannon Dope. Squeezes the cross in towards near post. Held up. And a shot on the turn. Deflects into the keeper's arms. But McTominay was the man who took the shots on. Again, Scotland have really stepped it up the last few minutes. Bono's down hurt here when just catching a ball. Don't know if he's pulled something, but McTominay just trying to pin his man in Chadi Riyad, but Riyad still got a vital block on that. And Bono, he's collected that fella slightly awkwardly. Landed on his right leg. That's a great chance for Scott McTominay. A moment ago, Bono getting back to his feet. Actually looking at it, I do wonder if Bono is making out that he's more hurt than he is. It was Gannon Dope, by the way, who was jumping up McTominay. That header a moment ago. Massive chance, and I do wonder if Scotland, I think Scotland made another substitution. Nathan Patson is off, and Tony Ralston is on. Just had a bit of fresh legs down that right. Going in stoppage time, and Samir El Mourabet is coming on for Morocco very shortly. Morocco now in possession here with Eli Nawi, tackle made from Ferguson. And I think it'll just be a throw for Morocco. So now Unai is the man making way for Samir El Morabet to come on. Some really nice footwork from Unai tonight. Yeah, he's been fantastic. Throw from Talbi. Goes backwards and Morocco have it with Bono. In the D, Bono. Left-footed. Looking out towards the left wing. Get away from Ralston. Now Morocco looking to come forwards here with El Morabet. Talbi on the left-hand side. Talbi cutting in. Still Shemsi Talbi. Talbi goes to shot, but it's just cannons off the face of Hanley. 6 minutes of stoppage time for Scotland to try and rescue a point here in Boston. Hakimi out to turn it on the left-hand side, and it's Amai Mooney wins the throw. He's trying to turn away from McLean. McLean made the tackle. And that will do very nicely. So John McGinn has come off for Ross Stewart, and who pushed up with Dykes and McTominay up top. So it's long from Diop. 40 seconds into stoppage time. Header forward to McLean, now chested to Hakimi. Tackle from Dykes. Loose ball goes back to the feet of Eli Nawi. Now it's long from Bono. Flick over halfway. Couldn't quite find Amai Mooney. That's a poor direct ball from the back from Scotland through Hendrick. As it sells back to Bono. First minute of the 6th. Done and dusted. Morocco, can they see this out? I move top of Group C in this competition. Volleyed away. And that long ball from the goalkeeper. Now Robertson's volley returned back down his side. And there is Amai Mooney. Amai Mooney still on the ball. Amai Mooney twist and turn on the right hand side. Good tackle made there by Kenny McLean. McLean now trying to turn inside, does that really well. Kenny McLean, left-footed. Now McTominay holding off Boadi. McTominay swings the ball out to the right-hand side. Scotland now over halfway. Here's Gallon Doe, lays off to Ralston. Tony Ralston now goes backwards. Hanley by the centre circle. Now inside it is Ferguson. Ferguson has a slap pass from Lewis Ferguson. Now Morocco over halfway down the right. Here with Amai Mooney. Still Amai Mooney prods it down the box. And can Morocco maybe get a shot off? El Morabet sets up for Talbi. Talbi's shot tipped over from Gunnell. Did he get a touch? It was a great connection with the ball from Talbi. And Gunn, yes, Gunn definitely tipped that one over. No corner kick though. Goal kick taken, but Dykes defeats in the air from Diop. And Morocco back on the ball. Hakimi in the centre circle. And now Eli Nui to Boadi. Now Hakimi picks it up and sort of a number 10 possession here. Hakimi, that pass is too far in behind of Rahimi. McTominay. We are midway into 6 minutes of stoppage time in this match. Can Scotland find the leveller? So Tony Ralston, diagonal ball, Robertson heads on. Dykes chasing down the left. Hakimi clears on his fast. Robertson goes down edge of the box. Dykes puts a cross in, no one in the centre though. It's probably where you want Lyndon Dykes. Not him delivering it. Boadi was the man who cleared it. McLean inside left. McLean tackled. And now Morocco look to come away. They get a throw. And Steve Clark just knocked into actually by accident from Amai Mooney, who has won his side of throw. So Morocco closer to a massive 3 points. Again, Kenny McLean, just a moment ago, he was saying he was fouled, and I have to say that there was a little clip on his ankle. So throw take from Morocco. Hakimi's pass blocked, then just smash forward from Diop. That goes back to Gunn. 2 minutes left for Scotland in stoppage time to rescue a point. They keep themselves unbeaten in this year's tournament. Hanley goes long. Square header from Stewart, but can't find Dykes. And now Hakimi just direct and away down the right-hand side, bounces out for a Scotland throw. Just on the midway inside their half. Throw taken from Hendry. So here's Scotland with Hanley. Back across to Hendry. And now Ferguson. And he goes backwards to Gunn. Scotland need to be urgent here. 1 minute and 25 seconds left. Hanley, long to Dykes. He's beaten the air from Diop, but it falls to McTominay, edge of the box. McTominay trying to keep his balance, but he gives away the ball. And now Morocco with El Morabet. El Morabet over halfway. Shamsdeen Talbi driving at the Scotland back line. Talbi squares it. And can Morocco wrap this up? And Mooney just curves it wide. What a chance for Morocco to wrap it up in the final minute of stoppage time. So Scotland still have a little bit of hope left. It's Gunn who goes long, 45 seconds to go. Again, Diop's been a man mountain against Dykes since he's come on. Gannon Doak has it, just beyond halfway. And he goes beyond into Tony Ralston. Ralston now looking for Stewart. Stewart flicks towards Dykes and it's volleyed out for a corner kick. And that's the combination that Scotland were dreaming of, that just the link-up play between the two strikers. Tony Ralston went long, flicked towards Dykes and Stewart, and volleyed out for a corner kick by Chadi Riyad. This is the last chance for Scotland. At the very least, it'll only be a 1-goal defeat by the looks of it. So it won't be big damage to the goal difference. Of course, they can go through in third place. So Lewis Ferguson, in swing corner, headed away by Morocco. Headed back towards Watson Ralston now. Morocco can come away with it. Ralston just pulling back Hakimi. And that should be that. Will Morocco even have time to take the free kick? It's the referee just being told to look at something. I'm not sure actually. Or is he going to blow the final whistle? And he has blown the final whistle. There it goes, and Morocco have defeated Scotland by 1-0 to move to the top of Group C. It's 2-2. Finished by Saibari, it's beaten number 2. It was in the 2nd minute for Saibari. Diaz lifted into the box, and Saibari on the half volley gave Angus Gunn no chance. Scotland did really grow in statures more as the game went on, but again, just couldn't take any of the moments that came their way. And Morocco held out in the end to move above Scotland into pole position in Group C. Next up in this group is Brazil-Haiti, and Scotland will take on Brazil in the final game. Again, Scotland, the goal difference hasn't been damaged though, so they're not in a bad position if they end up finishing third, as long as it's not a heavy defeat to Brazil. Morocco, again, a huge win for them. They know if they beat Haiti, that will be them home and O's, but I think with 4 points Morocco, even though they finished third, should definitely get through. So Morocco edge out Scotland here in Boston by 0-0. Thanks for listening, and we'll see you next time.
Remember to check out FootMob's social channels on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter and TikTok. Thank you for listening to FootMob's audio commentary. Be sure to check out player ratings, shot maps and more in-depth info on the match page. Remember to check out FootMob's social channels on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter and TikTok.